Hello everyone, this is Maths grade 8, and last time we have looked at the rational numbers, and today we are starting with exponents. This is not new to you. You've started with exponents probably from grade 6 or so. Okay, and under exponents we are going to look at scientific and exponential notation. We are going to cover laws of exponents, we are going to cover negative exponents, and we are going to use prime factors to determine the roots. Okay, so we are not done with the roots, which are irrational numbers. We are still going to cover it again under the exponents. So very important, as I explained, to know your prime numbers, to know how to break down a number into the product of its prime factors using the ladder. I hope by now you know how to do this and your speed has improved in doing this. Okay, because you need to do this, the ladder, to get the prime factors of a number. Okay, and we are going to do other exercises, but I think now it's time for us to start with our topic, exponents. Okay, let's just look at few definitions before we go to the actual work. Okay, so they say we are going to look at scientific notation and exponential notation. Scientific notation is a way to simplify large numbers and to write it as a number between 1 and 10 multiplied by its exponent. Scientific notation is a way to simplify large numbers and write it as a number between 1 and 10 multiplied by its exponent. Okay, we express large numbers by writing them as number between 1 and 10 and multiply by its exponent. Exponential notation is a way to represent continuous multiplication of the same number by writing the base number and giving the number of times it is multiplied as the exponent. Don't worry, you will understand this when you see the example. For example, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is the same as 2 to the power 5. By now you have done this when we were doing a ladder and a LCM and HCF. They say you must first know the following. Continuous multiplication is indicated as an exponent. Okay, exponent shows you how many times do you multiply. So they say it's continuous multiplication. So the small number at the top is an exponent and the big number is the base. Okay, big number is the base, the small number is the exponent. Please know this. And then the small number, it's the continuous multiplication. It tells you how many times you multiply the base. Okay, so if it's 2 to the power 5, it means that I am going to multiply 2 5 times. It is not 2 times 5. It's going to be 2 multiplied 5 times. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 5 times. Please guys, don't make that mistake of saying this is the same as 2 times 5. It is not. Okay, now let's look at the example. Okay, no, they don't have an example here. They give us exercise 1.1. We have 4 to the power 3. 4 to the power 3. Okay, so this is easy guys. I don't even want to take time on these exercises because you can do this. So this is going to be 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, it is not going to be 4 times 3. It is going to be 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, then you can do 1.2 in your book. You can start with 1.1, do 1.2, and do 1.3 as well in your book. Now let us look at exercise 1.4 together. I will show you an example and you can continue and do 1.4. Okay, we call this rewriting the number in scientific notation or expanded notation. Okay, because as it is in exponential notation. So if we rewrite it scientific notation, we expand it. So we can also say scientific notation is expanded notation. Okay, so let me do this example so that I can help you with exercise number 1.4 and exercise 1.5 in your textbook. Okay, so this is going to be written as, you see, the base 7 is multiplied 2 times, not by 2, but it's multiplied 2 times. So 7 times 7. You see, it's multiplied 1, 2 times. Okay, and the base 3, it's multiplied 3 times. It is not 3 times 3, but it is multiplied 3 times. So I'm going to have times the base 3, 3 times 3 times 3. You see that? This is expanded from this exponential notation. 7 multiplied 2 times and 3 multiplied 3 times. But we put a multiply in between, okay, because everything must be multiplied. Base 7 multiplied 2 times. Base 7 multiplied 2 times. Base 3 multiplied 3 times. Base 3 multiplied 3 times. Okay, so with that said, you can be able to do 1.4 and 1.5. I'll do one more example, 2 to the power 3 and 3 to the power, let me not put anything. Sometimes they put dots in between, and 5 to the power 2. So base 2 is multiplied 3 times. So I'm going to have a 2 times 2 times 2. And base 3 is just multiply 1 time. So I'm going to have 3. And base 5 is multiplied 2 times. I'm going to have 5 times 5. See now, how do we write expanded notation or scientific notation? Please don't make that example of saying it's 7 times 2 and it's 3 times 3. Don't. I tell you now, don't. Remember that whenever you're about to make that mistake, don't do that. You will regret. Okay. Now let's continue. I want now to rewrite the numbers in exponential notation. Okay. So they will give us a number that is in expanded notation. So we must rewrite it in exponential notation. Okay, let's look. So now, for example, we have this in expanded notation and we must write it in exponential. Exponential, you must have a base. Okay, so my base here is 3. Okay, how many times is 3 multiplied here? 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 3 to the power 3. Okay, I have the second one now. Now I have different bases. I have 2 bases. The first one is 2. The second one is 5. So I'm going to look at my first base. That is 2 first. And 2 is multiplied how many times? 1, 2. 2. And I put a dot, or you don't have to put anything. And I have the second base, which is 5. 5 is multiplied how many times? 1, 2, 3. So this is my exponential form. Okay, last example, I have how many bases? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I will write them in ascending or increasing order. The first smaller one is 1. I'm going to write 1, but 1 is multiplied how many times? Just once. Okay, the second one is 2. Oh, my mistake. Sorry. I have 1. Then I'll put dots. My second one is 2. 2 is multiplied how many times? 1 time. But we don't write a 1. Okay. And I have my third base, which is 3. 3 is multiplied how many times? 2. And I have my fourth base, which is 5. 5 is multiplied how many times? 1. We don't write a 1. This is my number in a exponential form. But with a 1, we can remove it because 1 multiplied by this number, it will stay the same. So if you want, you can rewrite this and leave 1 out. Then you're going to have 2, 3 to the power 2, and 5. Either you write it like this or like that, you are still correct. So with that said, you can be able to do exercise 1.6 to exercise 1.10. Okay, let's go for that. So I want all the exercise completed from 1.1 to 1.10. Quickly, this should not take more than 10 minutes. Okay, thank you.